Hey y'all, today we are setting up our daily pages for October, and I generally do this like every week. I sit down and kind of plan out my week. So we're gonna just start off doing all of the days for the week. It didn't start off on a Sunday like it did last month. That was really nice. So we're gonna go ahead, and what I do is I just write all the days, and I like to do mine vertically. That works best for my brain. I was looking back through some of my old planners, and whenever I started out, I did it horizontally, and it was kind of funny because I could see how that totally did not work for me. But that worked. This is what works great for me, and I just use a cheap little notebook. Actually, I should have wrote Saturday on that. Isn't it Saturday? Yeah. So I forgot to do that, but I use a cheap notebook to do all of my planning. That is what works best for me. So we'll do this, and then also on Sunday and once a week I try and do the Fly Ladies weekly home blessing hour that I've kind of adapted to work for me. So that's what I do there, and then we'll go ahead and do Monday, even though I generally sit down and do this like Sunday, do like a reset of everything. So that's what we have there, and I do mine really different than what most people do. I like to, at the top of this page, put like a month at a glance, and this is where I write down any important dates that I need to remember, appointments, birthdays, anniversaries, even like give myself a little bit of a grace period to send out cards, because I don't know where y'all are at, but even if I'm sending the card in the same state, it can still take days. So it seems to take a long time, so I want to give myself enough of a grace period to do that, so I'll even write that in there too. But generally, like, I'm just gonna put like my basic things here. So like I need to be sure and pay the bills on the 2nd, and then on the 3rd I like to try and put our orders in. I try and do only like one big Amazon order a month. That way I'm not buying anything that's not necessary, and I save on shipping and don't have to have Prime or anything like that. Also on this day I need to make sure I take the trash out. And then also I write down to reschedule this, and whenever I go through on Sunday and do my reset, this will not be crossed off, and I go back through and see what needs to be transferred to the following week. So that's like my reminder to add the trash on for the next week. And then on the 6th I do my measurements, and then let's see, on the 16th my vinegar will be done. I have videos where I show how to make homemade vinegar. It's a really fun little project. It really doesn't take that much time. I walk y'all through the whole process. It's really easy, really fun, and I like to make mine with herbs from the garden, and it makes it smell so much better. So I have videos on that on our channel if you'd like to check that out. And also on the 30th I like to do my review and reflection page, and I set this up in my monthly planner. I had done that video previously, so if you'd like to check that out, I also have that. I'll try and leave that in the description and a card as well. And another thing I need to remember, since it's October, for us, I need to start watching for the first frost. So for us, it's either the end of October or the beginning of November, but I need to keep this in mind because I need to get all of the sweet potatoes out. Usually we still have quite a few peppers. My tomatoes are pretty much done. We got sick and I was not able to water things, and those were the ones that got hit the worst. Everything else seemed to be okay. My okra is pretty much done too, but that's okay. We still have our sweet potatoes, and I think they are going to do really good this year. So we have that. So this is kind of like my month at a glance that I like to keep here. And then on the top of this page, based upon like our goals and my monthly planner that I did, I'm going to transfer some of those over so I can like remember, and this kind of helps me like my week at a glance things I need to remember. So for example, I need to make bread flour. I also have a video on my channel sharing how to make this using only 2 ingredients. Where I'm at, it is super expensive, and this works great. Another thing I need to do is make our homemade ruby dust. We are just about out, so I might need to switch this. This may need to be first because it is almost almost completely gone. Another thing that I need to do is make biscuits. This is our Southern Fluffy Biscuits. I have a video on our channel, but what I do is generally every month I make a really big batch, at least double batch of this, and I just make them fully with the recipe, bake them and everything, and then once they've cooled I put them in the freezer, and they are such a great convenience side. They taste great. Like, you can, it's a very minimal difference of them being fresh and frozen, and for us it's worth it. It's so nice to just have that ready to go for a really convenient side dish. Another thing that I really need to get on is processing the pumpkins. We got sick and I was not able to do that, and I think they're called the sugar pie pumpkins. But these are the same ones I grew last year, and they only lasted somewhere between a month to 2 months. Some of them were going bad at the 2-month point, and I am getting close to being over a month, just a little bit over a month. So I really need to get on processing all my pumpkins. I do a combination of where I freeze some of it, and then also I dehydrate some of it. That works great for me. That way I'm not taking up too much freezer space, but I really, really love that. I am loving the pumpkins. They did so good this year, and I love pumpkins anyway, so it works out great. Another thing I need to do is our laundry detergent. This is another thing we may run out of and really needs to be moved to the front because we are almost out of it too. I also have a video on our channel where I share our laundry detergent recipe, and actually I started doing it a little bit different. I need to still film that and share that too, but this laundry detergent is super cheap, and it has been my go-to for several years now. It's like the best laundry detergent I've ever tried. And another thing, I have like this really, really big project I need to tackle, and so it is basically to kind of reorganize the pantry. So I kind of have already, I have kind of already started this, and I need to just kind of nail down my system better, I guess. And also, since everything is so much more expensive now, I'm not able to keep as much back stock as I used to. And also there are some things that it just isn't, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to keep back stock up because it takes us a while to go through. Like, for example, like lemon juice. I don't see any point in keeping that. It's just going to expire before I use it all. So I'm going to just try and make myself a cheat sheet. I'm just going to put a cheat sheet here where I can go through and figure out like what I need to buy. So I'm gonna like have a cheat sheet to where I know like I need to buy this whenever this is like halfway or whatever, some things like that. Just that way I'm not overbuying and nothing is expired, nothing's going to waste, because as expensive as things are, we do not want any of that happening. And also it will help save money too because we're not buying as much, but I think it's going to work out a lot better. So I need to do, this is like going to be a really, really big project to try and make sure I get absolutely everything, you know, because I include medicine, things in the refrigerator, freezer, all of these things. So that is going to be a really big project. And since we've been sick, I have really been trying to break things down to where I'm not doing everything all at once. And usually the month of November, I try and like deep clean the whole entire house. I already have the bedrooms done. I try and do that before school time. And I try and do everything else before Thanksgiving, and I am so beat by the end of it. So I think I'm going to try and break it up a little bit. I know Fly Lady calls it zone cleaning, but this is just where you deep clean your living spaces or your different spaces. That's the one I'm going to try and do, is the living room, because I think that would just be so much easier. So in October, I'll just tackle zone cleaning the living room, and then in November, I will then tackle zone cleaning the kitchen. So it's like I said, just basically I do like a deep clean, declutter, all of that as I'm going through everything. And I go through everything, like I move couches, furniture, I wash the rugs, you know, everything. I like really, really deep clean. I wipe down the ceilings and walls and everything. My family laughs at me because I do the ceiling too. do. But clean the windows, curtains, you know, you get it. All of that. I get all of that done. So it is a really big project, and I am going to hopefully try and get that done this month. That way next month it'll just be the kitchen. Other things I need to remember is to watch for the first frost. So I'm going to just put it over here so I don't forget, because this is kind of like my gardening section generally. I am going to put harvest here. I'm not doing a whole lot of that. Like I said, most of my tomatoes have died. I do have peppers out there that I could harvest. I just have not had the energy to go and tackle that yet. And also I need to remember to try and exercise. Since I have got sick, I have not been as good at that. So that's like the main things that I start with is that. So I've got my month at a glance and my weekly things that I need to do. And then how I do it is I just go through and write down the things. So like I'll do my monthly things that I need to do. So we'll add that on the days that they go on. So we'll do orders in, and then we'll do the trash out and reschedule. And you can always star things. Sometimes I do that if I'm really struggling. I will star things like these that really need to get done today, and things like that. This is actually supposed to be the 16th. So then I'll write my measurements here, and I think that's everything for the monthly stuff. And now I'm going to move on to these things, and kind of like how I was saying, I like to do my zone cleaning now, where I'm not just piling everything on one day. I go through and I kind of give myself a little project for each day. So on the first, we'll go ahead and do the bread flour. And like I said, I may need to swap some of these around because we may need this first or that first. We'll just see. And what I generally do is just use little arrows. You can see in my August video where I kind of did like a flip through of it. I use little arrows to let me know whether I need to move this forward or back and things like that. I am really, I guess give myself a lot of grace, and if it doesn't fall on this day, it's okay. And I just try and come up with systems to work to make things move and work easier for me, so it's not as stressful. A planner is meant to help you, not to make things more stressful. Okay, so on Wednesday, we'll do the ruby dust. And then on Thursday, I think we'll go ahead and put biscuits down on this day. And then I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and move the laundry here, because that is, like I said, that's something that's pressing, and we definitely need to have that. So we'll move that here, and like I said, it may need to be moved around if we completely run out of something. We'll go ahead and reorganize the pantry on Saturday. That looks like a good thing to do. Have a little bit more time on Saturday. I cannot spell. Why there's some things that I struggle to spell. Okay, it is really hard for me to talk and do this at the same time. I don't know why I struggle so much. Reorganize the pantry, and we'll also create our cheat sheet. And that'll be nice too before I make my grocery list on Sunday. So then I'm gonna do the weekly home blessing hour. And honestly, I've been thinking, this is like a really big project. It takes me quite a few hours to get through this. I've been thinking it would be nice to make our center of the roll bites. I did this for a while, where I did this every Sunday, and we kind of got burnt out on it, I guess. So I would like to bring this back, and we can have that again, especially with the fall. I also have a video on this, and these things are so delicious. So I think my family will be really happy about that. Let's see. I think Monday I'm going to move the zone cleaning here. And I don't know about processing the pumpkins. I'm just going to leave that there because I'm not sure with everything else going on if I can get to that. And honestly, that's going to be a long process, because what I do is I generally put them in like the Instant Pot or the oven and cook them, and then I'll like bag them up or dehydrate them. So it'll probably be something that I'll just have going like every day. So I'm just going to star this. And I think maybe I'll just go ahead and put it here. Yeah, I think I will. I'll just put it here, and I'll just kind of, once I have my kind of groove going, I'll know that each day I need to start a new batch of it, and I think that's how I'll tackle that one. Okay, So from there, I think what we're gonna do, well, you know what, another thing I need to remember is my exercise, and I generally do that in the afternoon or evening. So I think Tuesday I'm gonna try and do T-tap, and then I try to break it up a little bit, so I do T-tap and then melt, and I also do the exercise machine. I like to abbreviate here. Thursday, we'll just say we'll do T-tap again. Hopefully I can keep up with this schedule. Sometimes it is, my body kind of says, no, this is too much. Usually the melt I don't have any problem with in the exercise machine, but sometimes the T-tap is, my knees do not like it. So I'll just, if I may have to give myself a little more grace and not do T-tap, and I can just do melt instead. Let's see, Saturday I think we'll try and do the melt stuff, and then we'll also do the exercise machine. And then also on Sunday, since I have a lot going on, like I got my big weekly home blessing hour project and everything, I'm not going to put anything on that day. If I do anything, it will be the melt, just because it's really nice and relaxing and helps my body feel better. And I think the same thing on Monday. Since we're going to be like really busy these 2 days, I'm just going to do melt in the exercise machine. I think that's what I'm going to do there. Okay, so we also have our exercise in. Now, another thing that I have done, I was struggling with my morning routine an awful lot. So I made a little kind of, I like cheat sheets, okay? So I made this little thing to help me, and I can write down my morning routine here, things that I need to remember. And the awesome thing is I go through one of these notebooks I think it's every 3 or 4 months. I'm trying to remember. Every 4 months. That's right, because I go through 3 a year. So I change these out, and like next month, this will be like the last month. So like in November, I won't have this, but the next month I will have like different routines. So it works out perfect to where these I can change these up with the seasons as my routines changes with the season, especially with gardening and things like that. So also I was going to show what I do is I do like a little check mark like that whenever I get things done, and I don't have one here. So what I do is I create a little checkbox with just the ruler like that, and I just go through and do that on all of them here. So let's see, we've got Friday, we'll have that for Saturday. We need one for Sunday. I don't need one for my weekly home blessing hour, but it would have already been sorted. And then we'll do one for Monday. And then Sunday, whenever I do my weekly home blessing hour, I'll like redo all of this too, like my month at a glance and week at a glance. But also what I do is just to remember and to know that I did it not with just the check marks, because like I was saying, I was super struggling with this. I just do like MR for abbreviation for morning routine. I do my AR for afternoon routine. We have our dinner here. And then I have my evening routine. So that's what I do. So I'll just go through here and do all of that. And that works great for me. I may at some point add the rest of my routines on there. I generally don't have a problem doing those. It was just my morning routine. So hopefully I won't have to do that. But if that's something that, you know, a new habit or something that you're starting, that may work good for you. But that has been super, super helpful for me, and such a time saver too, because I am really, really big on saving time and efficiency, and I was kind of getting discouraged because I do not want to have to write all of those things out every single day, and that was like a lifesaver to me. So I was super happy that I started that, and hopefully that will help y'all too. But that would be good to do like for any habit that you're starting. That would be really helpful. So let's see. We need to do dinners here. And speaking of dinners, I also do another video where I share my meal ideas. I really, really like to try new recipes. and I share all of the different recipes that I would like to try and make for the month. Now, I do not follow it 100%. Life happens sometimes and I'm not able to get to everything, but it's fun to kind of have an idea, and especially if you're like looking through your recipes and find something that's a family member or you really liked, you can add that to it or request or different things like that. Okay, so now, I think I forgot morning routine here, didn't I? Okay, that's going to be a busy day. I don't want to forget that. I think I got it all right now. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the Fly Ladies weekly home blessing hour that I adapted to me. So this is just like what I do every week just to try and like reset our physical space. So I dust everything. I wash all the bedding and the throws. Let's see, what else do I do? I clean the bar and the TVs and screens and things like that. I get all the windows. I guess I should probably write that. I don't know why I did plus. And screens, we'll do that too. Also, let's see, what else do I do? Then I move on to watering the plants. Sometimes they go in the shower because they are dusty. I had to do that a few weeks ago. I did that when I was sick, and that probably wasn't the best thing to do, but I did it anyways. But I like to water my plants with rainwater. They really seem to like that, so I try and do that. Also, in the wintertime, this is great too, because some plants I don't need to water every week, and I can kind of keep a little note to remind myself which ones I did water and which ones I didn't. Also, I'm the dishwasher, so I need to be sure and clean the dish rack and change the towels. I generally have to do this more than once a week, but I just like to kind of start off the week with a fresh space there and have it all nice. Also, I make our shine juice. I have a video where I share this. This is what I use to do all the cleaning of like the TV and the bar. Actually, I just use it a lot as an all-purpose cleaner. It is really easy to make. I think it's just 3 ingredients, super easy, and it is like the best window cleaner I have ever used. So I love that, and like I said, there is a video on that if you'd like to check that out. I also have another cleaner that I make that I use a machine with and do that. I need to film that. I've yet to do that, so that is on the list. One of these days I will get around to that. And then I also go to the bathroom and clean that and add toilet paper. I make sure all the bottles are full. I make sure all of the soaps are there. We use bar soap. That's like way cheaper to us, so we do that. Then I move on to vacuuming, and I also make sure I clean the air conditioning filters. I know that sounds crazy to be doing that in October, but we are in the South and our air conditioner runs a lot. There have been many Christmases that we have literally had to run the air conditioner, so it is really hot down here. So then I move on to mopping. And then also, I know this isn't like a physical space reset, but I write down to update my computer and flat pack. So I do this, and I usually have this running in the background while I'm doing everything. I don't know why I write it down on the bottom, but I know that it's just kind of like my schedule and routine. I know that I'm going to be doing that. Next up, I do like a reset. So this is like where I sit down in my planner at the end of the day and kind of get my next week sorted. I try and think of the recipes that I would like to make that week, get my grocery list sorted for those recipes, do shopping, either like a grocery pickup order or just kind of get my shopping list in order. Usually I don't tackle all of this plus shopping in one day. That's a lot. So if I'm doing a grocery pickup order though, that would be easy enough to do, but I have not done that in a long time. I kind of got burned and I like sworn it off for a while. Then I move all the files to the hard drive. I am not the best about this. I tend to put this off more than I should, but I generally at least get this done at least once a month. Then I move my tasks. So I'll show you kind of what I was talking about before, like with the trash out. I'll scratch that out, but I'll still have reschedule. So that will like remind me whenever I go through here, or say I wasn't able to get the pumpkins done or the biscuits done or whatever that doesn't get crossed off. I know that that needs to get added on to the next week. So that's how I do that. I make sure all my emails have been sent out and everything. I didn't forget anything. Try and have some type of ideas for the videos for the week. And then my reoccurring task. I still need to try and figure out how to do this better. I've yet to do that, but one of these days I'll figure it out better. So I think that's everything. And again, like I was saying, on Sunday, whenever I sit down here, I will move all of the things that I still need to do. And if like there's been any appointments that were made during this week, I can add them in here. So I think I've got like 10, 16 vinegar, and then 10:30 we have the review and reflection. And this is where I go and I look at like all my trackers and I see how well I did. This is all in my monthly. Like I see how well I did, and anything else I want to add on my review and reflection page too. I do all of that there. And then I'm not going to put anything here for my weekly because I'm really not 100% sure what I will need to add here. And never know how the week's going to go. You may get everything done and you may get nothing done. So you may be surprised. But anyways, this is kind of how I do everything. I hope this was helpful to someone. Thank y'all all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all take care and we'll see you next time. Bye.